Okay, first of all, hi everybody, and welcome to our next 101 talking station. Today I'm going to be focusing on the FTC and YouTube stuff, so hang on while I readjust the sound. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Okay, how's that now, everybody? Also, I'm going to open up my Streamlabs chatbot, and then we will get started. Now, hi there, Knight. How are you doing? And also, let's go ahead and get started now. For anybody who wants to join in live on the chat, let me know, because I will be putting it in under the Discord video chat. If you don't want your face shown, you can hide your video screen, but you must be of 13 years of age or older, because that's going to be part of what I'm talking about today in this 101 talking station. So let's go ahead and get the show on the road by starting out with some music. This is going to be called Prime. Oh, that's cool. Let me first go ahead and get things finished setting them up, and then we'll go from here. I'm going to put my video call on as far as Discord goes. Hang on. Here we go. And then those who want to join in, let me know through Discord. Hang on 1 second. Let me click on the screen share. Okay, that's not what I want to share though. Hang on. Okay, let me put my webcam on. Video capture, here we go. Hang on 1 second. Y'all can go ahead and start talking if you want to, but I'm still trying to fix my webcam before we get started. Oh, that's fine. It'll give me 1 second, everybody, to fix the webcam on my end. Okay, there we go. Let me put the green screen on. And also, again, guys, I promise we will get started here soon, but some of the stuff that I'm setting up right now for the separate scene I should have done earlier. But instead I want to rest a little bit before time to do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, next I need to readjust the size. Okay, here we go. Now I can fix the rest of this. I'm going to bring myself down here at the bottom. And that is for this right here, so give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, hi everybody, there we go. Now let me go ahead, turn off the music now, and we'll get started. There we go. So how's everybody doing today? Okay, let me see here. Let's get on with the questions before we start the actual show. Since Knight has to go, I'm going to answer his question first. Let's see here. Let's see here. In my opinion, the FTC is using the COPPA as a tool to violate the First and Eighth Amendment and using YT as a proxy to punish those who ain't in the wrong. Not necessarily. See, the thing is on that, YouTube was fined $170 million because they were illegally taking children's data of those kids under 12 and younger. So the thing about that is they shouldn't be doing that, and so the FTC and basically the New York General Attorney's Office, whatever they're called, basically fined them for doing that. And now they're wanting to go after not necessarily us gamers and other streamers that are not doing anything wrong. They're wanting to go after people that are basically targeting children with illegal stuff, things that have, just things they're not supposed to be, things that kids are not basically supposed to be seeing. Not necessarily final. See, the thing is, FTC actually has come out and did a little bit of clarification on the matter. They're not necessarily going after the gamers per se. They're going after the people who are basically claiming themselves to be child friendly, and or channels that are basically targeting I'm trying to remember how SOJ put this in a tweet to me. Let me look at my Twitter. So, hang on. I mean, I will bring my Twitter up for y'all and let y'all look at the DM with me. So here we go. Let me go to messages a second and go to SOJ. Here we go. Oh, hi. Let me check and see who did the timestamp sound. Hang on. Oh, hi there, Dylan. How you doing? Okay, here we go. Let me go back to Twitter now. Okay, as y'all can see here, first he said, "Hi, buddy. You might not have to worry about the YT COPPA thing. FTC released a statement on Twitter about it. Yeah, TLDR. If you're the type, this is the main concern." And then, as you can see here, Federal Trade Commission, protecting America's customers. That's us, basically. And as you can see here, they're talking about the subject matter. They're talking about the visual content, the use of animated characters or children-oriented activities and incentives. Let's see here. They're talking about the kind of music or other audio content, the age of models, and I'll explain all these one by one eventually. So let me go through them first. As you can see here, they're also talking about the presence of children celebrities or celebrities who appeal to children, language or other characteristics of the site, which advertising that promotes or appears on the site is directed to children, and the content and reliable, other evidence about the age of the audience, the determination of whether content is child friendly is up to the content creators themselves, basically. And so basically for us, my general audience, even though I didn't put out the disclaimer in my one-on-one talking station, I'm going to do a sort of speaking disclaimer here and saying, if you're under the age of 13, please go and talk to your parent or legal guardian. Get your get them and make sure to watch this with them. Things like that. Yada yada, things like that, because my channel is basically directed to 13 plus in America and Canada, and also 16 plus in let's say like Japan, because I don't know their age restrictions, things like that. But getting back to what the rest of what SOJ was telling me here on Twitter, he is saying, so in a nutshell, this only affects channels that claim to be or are kid friendly, and if they are, they fall under COPPA. So basically for that, what I'm saying here is, we as general gamers and stuff here don't fall under the COPPA rule, because like me for example, sure, kids may like Mario and Zelda and we'll say like Metroid, there's Sonic, see here, there's Castlevania, and those are just a few that I can name. But I am going to also say that adults like those games too, and that's what the FTC, Susan them at YouTube and just everything like that in general is talking about. There will be more clarification on this as time rolls around. the ones who should really be worrying about the whole stuff with the FTC and the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act are channels like, I'm trying to think of a good example here, not to trample on anybody or anybody's names and stuff. Let's see here. I mean, like, for example, we could say preschool education, for example. Let me get me a drink of water real quick, then I'll continue. There we go. Okay, now, and then there's also content like Elmo, Sesame Street. Then there is, if it's still on TV, they're talking about like Barney the dinosaur. They're talking about Arthur, and that's just. And I'm also going into not just preschool, but I'm also going into kids' TV shows and stuff like that too, where they're basically I'm trying to think of somebody under the FTC's employment and stuff like that would be saying, Arthur, whose creator is Mark Brown. Basically, he's targeting children with his books and cartoon series. That's basically what they're talking about with, with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure come December 9th, they will definitely clear all this up. Because there has been a few clarifications every now and again since the first talks of this back on September 4th. Just basically the day before my channel blew up. So technically, gamers and stuff, you're worrying about, I'm going to be losing this and that. Well, if you're making sure that you're not necessarily aimed at kids and you know your audience, then the FTC will not necessarily go after you. I mean, like, as long as you know your audience, if you claim your content to be for kids, or if you claim to be kid friendly, that's basically who the FTC is going to be putting the child COPPA rule under. And also, as far as the COPPA rules and stuff, the only changes they're going to be doing is kind of talking about like trying to protect kids under the ages of 13. Like, if you're say 12 or whatever, and if you're looking at a channel that is for 13 and up, that's where the channel owner, like such as myself, need to be saying. If you're 12 years old or younger, please come back on your 13th birthday, or get your parents' consent and watch my channel with your parent or legal guardian, or if the parent and legal guardian lets the kid who is 12 and under watch with their 13 and older sibling, then again, get the parents' consent and then watch it with your older sibling. Is basically what I'm saying here. But again, YouTube and the FTC and Washington and all that, guys, is not going to destroy your channels. Let me repeat that again. YouTube, the FTC, and Washington, D.C. will not, I repeat, not destroy your channels unless you are necessarily going after children that are ages 12 and under. If you're illegally going after them, is when you're going to have a problem. Now, if you're like me, whose audience is 13 and older, make sure to again know that my channel's audience is for 13 and older. Here in USA, in Canada, and if you're in a country where the age is also 13, again, that 13-year-old age rule also applies to you, where you can actually come to my channel. But if you're in, I don't know if Japan has this age, Japan has this age rule or not, but I'm just going to say if you're 16 and older in Japan, I am pretty sure, and then that they will say that you have to be 16 years or older in Japan to watch my channel. But again, I don't know the age limit of what a kid is considered in Japan, or somebody in Europe can confirm this for me if the age is 13 or not, but I am pretty sure that in maybe Russia or something like that, that they have an age limit of 16. Again, anybody from those countries, like the UK and stuff like that, can clarify the ages for me if you feel like it. Anyway, getting back to my Twitter account for a second, and SOJ's tweet to me. What they're talking about with subject matter here is they're talking about, like, if you're, and also this goes for teaching channels and stuff too, like if you're teaching a kid who is in, say, like in kindergarten, first grade, and stuff like that, their basic numbers, like your 1 through, we'll just say 100, or your basic, or your ABCs and stuff like that, those basically fall under the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act. Oh, hi Tonic, how you doing? Exactly, Tonic. Yes, exactly. But again, I'm also giving some clarification for those who are worried. And again, Tonic, if you want to get in on this act, if you want to get in with me, feel free, because I've got you in under Discord in my one-on-one talking station. If you feel like you want to join in, Tonic, just click on where it says video call, and feel free to join in on Discord. Again, that's if you want to, but if you're getting ready to stream or whatever, I understand. But again, that's up to you, Tonic. But basically what I'm saying here is, as far as like visual content, they will clarify that. Now, the use of animated characters and children-oriented activities and incentives, what they're talking about here is, again, I mentioned like characters like Arthur and Elmo and Barney and children's animated characters like that. They're not necessarily talking about Mario and Zelda, Samus. They're not necessarily talking about Sonic, characters like that. I mean, while those characters could be considered under that ruling, those characters are also considered gray areas, because you've also got teens, you've got adults like myself who also like Mario and Sonic, Zelda. We'll say Yoshi, because there's games like Yoshi's Island. Things like that. So there definitely is there is definitely gray areas there, by the way. Oh, that's cool. I understand. I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying if you had the time, or if you felt like it, I've got you in on the I've got you in on the podcast channel. I'm going to show you here again through my Discord. As you can see here, I've got you highlighted right here where it shows you in here. So again, you can always, I mean, like if I had to remove you from the if I had to remove you from the 101 Talking Station podcast for a little bit, Tonic, I do understand, but I'm leaving you in just in case you want to be a part of it, you know. I mean, I've got the same thing with RTG. I've got the same thing with Master Ego, as you can see. There's Houdini font. There's Houdini that I know from Twitch. Let's see here. There's Break Nintendo, who is old enough to be on YouTube, by the way, guys. So, again, also, I am going to say now. Oh, hang on. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to that in a minute, Final. What I was also talking about is that for the podcast part of this, guys, you have to be 13 years or older to be in it with me, which I know a lot of you are. Anyway, now on to Final's question about Minecraft. I'm pretty sure that Minecraft will be safe because it falls under the gray area as well, because not just, I mean, kids are not the only one that like Minecraft. I mean, I don't play it personally, but I don't mind watching other people play it. Like, I've seen Tonic play it, I've seen you play it, Final. Let me think. I've seen Double Tap Duo, the people you suggested to me playing it, you know, Final. You know, I've seen people like that play it too, and they're not kids. So again, there's a lot of gray area with gaming that I'm pretty sure the FTC will clear up come December 9th, which is why I haven't made any decisions about my channel yet, because again, and if YouTube, if people in the FTC are watching, again, my channel is for 13 years and up. My general intent is for people who are 13, you know, basically in trying to get like high school and up, basically. So hang on one second. Oh, get me another drink of water. Here we go. Okay, let's see here. Exactly, Tonic. Exactly. This, yes, like Tonic said, guys. If you haven't read his comment yet, the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act has been in effect since actually for 21 years, actually, Tonic, because it came out in 1998. And if you do your calculations correctly, we are basically in 2019 right now. 2019 subtract 1998, guys, is 21. So again, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act has been in effect since 1998 for 21 years. I mean, there have been some revisions since then, and it hasn't really affected anybody. And I really don't think it's going to affect gamers as much as they think, as much as like other channels are worrying it will be, because as long as you, again, identify your content as being 13 years and older in North America, Canada, and other countries with the 13-year and up age limit, you guys will be just fine. Again, you have nothing, and I will repeat, nothing to worry about. Yeah, for the fact that, Tonic of Bing Bang Potato does things like Mario as well. He does Legend of Zelda like us. He does, he's done Castlevania a time or two, or, yeah, like two times. He's done, PlayStation games. Like he could give you a few examples from his channel if he wanted to. But I've also seen people playing like Resident Evil, which is not just Nintendo, but it could be played on like PlayStation. I've seen people playing Halo on Xbox. I've seen I've seen like other games like that being played on like Xbox and PlayStation, just PlayStation in general with Kingdom Hearts. I mean, Kingdom Hearts can be considered for more than one age group. Just like Mario, just like our Marios, our Zeldas, our Sonics, our Metroids. Then there's also like our Castlevanias, things like that. And then again, there's also games like Toe Jam and Earl, which I played back on Halloween month, that a 12-year-old or younger would definitely be worried about playing because of like aliens. Toe Jam and Earl were basically aliens in that game, And then people looking like Carrot Top and things like that too. Exactly, Dark Souls. I've already mentioned Resident Evil. I forgot GTA, but yeah, exactly. But you get my point, Tonic. So again, as far as that goes, we don't have to worry about that. Moving on to the next thing in the clarifications that they have here that they put in through Twitter. Yeah, that they put in through Twitter here. They've also got like, let's move on to the kinds of music or audio content. Okay, like the kinds of music that kids would probably be listening to, and I'm not going to sing it because I don't want to be kid-oriented, because I am for 13 years and older, so I will just basically say, like nursery rhyme songs. Let's see here. Then there is, again, I bring back up the TV show, the cartoon show. Arthur has a song about his family, about his friends in like 4th grade now. Cause last time I ever checked up on that show was he was back in like 4th grade or whatever. And then there was, next up is Age of Models. Okay, now what they're talking about with the Age of Models is like kids who are 13, who are younger than like 13. They're also like, let me think. They're talking about like Hollywood actors and actresses who are kids who star in like these Christmas movies that have kids in them. They're talking about like, let me think. Yeah, something that wouldn't be necessarily, not necessarily romantic, for example. Then there is the presence of children. Again, they're also classifying the presence of children, celebrities, and celebrities who appeal to children. Okay, like, again, a kid might like somebody who plays in, let's say, even though adults, again, like Power Rangers, then there's kids who also like it. Then there is, like, other celebrities that kids may like to follow, like your Miley Cyrus's, even though she's not necessarily something that kids should be watching. Let's see here. Then language or other characteristics of the site. They're basically talking about like vulgar language, like you've got your, like for example, Tonic and his brothers do the Horton Brothers Grimm podcast, and they're not necessarily what you would call, they're not necessarily targeting kids. They're basically targeting older audiences with that podcast. Let's see here. Then there is also whether advertising that promotes or appears on the site is directed to children, and content and reliable evidence, we'll just say about the age of the audience. Okay, what they're talking about with, because I'm going to put those two together. What they're basically saying here is, like, this is also another gray area because there are certain people who still enjoy, like, your Hot Wheels, your Legos. Let's see here. There's Star Wars. Let's see here. There's basically a lot of things. There's a lot of gray areas here, guys. And again, they will definitely clear up a lot of this come December 9th because they have to. But again, things like that, as far as the age of the audience, they're talking about things like, let me think. And again, if y'all have any examples, feel free to put them in the chat and let me catch up on the chat for a second. Oh, I know, Tonic. There's certain songs that I'm talking about, though. I'm not talking about like if I was singing Mario songs and stuff like that, those types of songs and stuff like that would be safe. What I'm talking about is like your John Jacobs and stuff like that. Let's see here. But again, I'm not worried about the law either, Tonic. So basically what Tonic is saying here, guys, in the chat, if you haven't read it, he's basically saying, I'm not worried about the law because I'm not violating the privacy of children with my videos. Follow the law and things will be fine. Exactly, Tonic, because I'm not promoting the kids either. And again, he's also saying Tonic is also saying that you would be safe singing a song, bro, and then laughing. Of course, he's talking to me there again. I know that. Hi there, James. Anyway, what I'm talking about is things like again, what I was talking about is things like your John Jacobs and stuff like that. I'm not talking about like, say, Brayton wanted to sing Animal Crossing songs or whatever, you know. And again, Aaron, there is no kids here, as far as I know. And again, if there are any kids who are 12 and under here, please go to the YouTube Kids app. Anyway, moving on. Again, for those who missed what I was talking about, also, guys, if you're also worried, feel free to look in the description. I've got some links to some FTC stuff that you can look at. I've got the petition to sign for those who are old enough down in the chat, or down in the description. I've got talking points for both viewers and content creators. Let's see here. Let me catch up on chat for a second. I'm doing good, Brayton. Let's see here. Hi there, Sims4. How you doing? Let's see here. Give me 1 second to catch up on chat, guys. We'll see, Brayton. See you later, Jinx, if you gotta go. If Aaron is 12, then he has to go then, Brayton. I'm afraid. Sorry. Well, again, guys, for those who are turning 13 in a month or so, come back in a month. But again, my channel is not for kids who are 12 and under. My channel is for teenagers to adults, basically. Anyway, let's see here. But yeah, exactly, Tonic. Anyway, for those, again, like I said, for those who turn 13 in a month, feel free to come back then. And anyway, moving on, I'm going to talk about my future here on YouTube for a little bit too. And again, again, you can ask questions during this and stuff too, though. But let me go ahead and say, right now, since I've been thinking about this, I've been thinking about I've been falling asleep thinking about it and stuff too, and I'm not going anywhere as far as YouTube goes. I will still be here. I will still be doing my Twitch. Let's see here. I will be continuing my gaming videos and stuff as normal. So again, nothing to worry there. I will be doing more promotions on my channel for things like Mario and Sonic. I will be promoting things like Luigi's Mansion 3 when I have it. I will be doing promotions of my Teespring. I will be doing promotions of my Amazon store. You know, a lot of things like that, basically. And let me check and see what Tonic is saying here now. Let's see. Oh, I know that, Tonic, but what I'm saying is that if YouTube would put an actual age gate on their channel and stuff, you know, for appropriate audiences and stuff, we wouldn't have to worry about all this. But anyway, let's see here. I've also, if you look in my channel's about page, I've added in the Patreon, I've added in the Teespring, I've added in the Amazon storefront, I've added in my the link to my Streamlabs where you can donate to me, you know, things like that too. I've got my PayPal in there. I've got a lot of stuff in there. But again, and also again, just to be safe with the FTC and stuff, I don't want to have to worry about them, you know, like, saying this and that too, Tonic. So again, I'm not necessarily what you would call worried about it. I'm just giving some clarifications for those people who are still like, oh, are you leaving us? You know, things like that. Again, I'm going to mention and repeat myself again that my YouTube channel will still be here, guys. I'm not going anywhere. I will say that I will be continuing where I left off tomorrow with either more of Minish Cap, or I'll put that off until next Wednesday. And I will do probably more, probably start either another Sonic game on Saturday like I used to do, or continue that on Sundays. And also, behave now, Brayton, and chill, Aaron. Chill, guys. I know you guys are joking, but still. Again, I'm making this a serious topic for those who may want to watch it and stuff, guys. So again, chill. Anyway, moving on. The next thing for my channel, I'll be trying to do more stuff like more podcasts and stuff like this, to where if y'all feel like you want to join in, Brayton's done this with me before too, so he knows the drill. Like, remember, Brayton, when me and you did the stuff with Nintendo, with the last Nintendo Direct, remember? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Hi there, any game you name. How you doing? Okay, let's see here. Moving on. I will also be eventually doing some collaborations with other channels and stuff too. Exactly. Exactly, Tonic. The only thing that us content creators can really do is make sure that we follow the make sure we follow the rules of COPPA and protect kids and stuff is all we can really do. So again, I'm not necessarily worried about my channel. So, let's see here. Which is also why, again, I'm also, again, putting the disclaimer for those who may be on YouTube watching this right now, I am saying again, make sure that the kid who is 12 and under gets the consent from the parent. And again, make sure that they are watching with their older sibling who is 13 and up. And then we won't have to worry. Because like Tonic said, you can't necessarily stop a 12-year-old from watching a channel. You know, because they will lie about their ages and stuff. Which is where us content creators can step in to protect ourselves from the COPPA, you know, and saying things like, if you are of certain underage number, which I've already mentioned, watch it with your older sibling or parents. Exactly, Tonic. Exactly. I know exactly what you're saying. I'm also trying to make sure that I'll be as clear and concise as I can be too. If I'm not, feel free to let me know. If there's something that I'm missing that I haven't put in the that I haven't put in my description yet, feel free to link that to me in either our Twitter, you know, to me personally, in my Discord, via DM, or in the you know, since you're also a mod, you can kind of do that here too if you want to, Tonic, because mods have permission to add certain links and stuff to the you know, to the chat for those who are still confused, you know, so that I don't have to do it. You know, if you wanted to link, say, the Federal Trade Commission's link to the stuff that I talked about in my DM here, as you can see. That you've got where it says like the Federal Trade Commission protecting America's customers here, you know, consumers and stuff. That's basically what that's talking about there. So if you wanted to link that to me, feel free to. Anyway, moving on. The next thing, as far as our future goes, let's see here, I've talked about our... Also, I will be adding new Teespring merch eventually, but I'm not going to add it in. I'm not going to add, like, certain images and stuff in. This time I'm going to add in, like... I'm going to make another Awesomeness Knows Awesomeness t-shirt, and I will probably make it have, like, a... probably have a picture of my me from the last shirt that I made saying it, and kind of put that in the kind of put like a speaking symbol or whatever, like kind of, let's say, like over here to my left or to the right over here where I'm talking, where the me is talking, is saying in small capital letters, saying like Awesomeness Knows Awesomeness, and I don't know what I would put on the back yet. And that's just some ideas for new Teespring shirts, or I could turn it into stickers. I could turn it into a mug. Let's see here. I could turn it into socks, for example. And again, not to leave the ladies out and stuff, for streamers who are ladies that like gaming as well, I could do something similar to that. You know, for them. You know, stuff like that too, basically. And that's just a few ideas I've got going there in my head right now. And again, that's also to protect my Teespring account, to make sure I'm not taking copyrighted material and stuff illegally and putting it into a Teespring shirt or whatever, you know. And let's see here then. I will be adding more stuff to my Amazon store. Let's see here. I've also got my Patreon set up to where we could do Patreon exclusive streams and stuff too. And for that you would have to pay $5. You know, not you'd have to do that every month if you wanted to do that. Let's see here. Then we've also got things like I'd add in more new amiibos to the amiibo section of my Amazon store. Let me think. New games that got announced by Nintendo, like more updates about like Breath of the Wild 2 eventually, I would add that to my Amazon store, you know, things like that once they have them in. Also, we would have things like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. I don't have to buy it because I got a review copy, so I'm good there. But Tonic himself has mentioned to me on his own channel that he wants to get it. I've got that in my Amazon store, for example. I've got Luigi's Mansion 3 in there. Let's see here. I've also added in like Pokemon Sword and Shield there. There's also other amiibos I'll be adding into the amiibo section. Let's see here. I'll be doing more streamer equipment stuff, basically, for like newer laptops, newer computers in general, new lighting setups. There's new game capture cards. There is more expensive green screens. There's a bunch of other stuff. So again, I've got my bases covered. I'm not necessarily doing just YouTube, as you can tell. I've got a lot of other ventures going with my channel here. My channel is not just I'm a YouTuber. You know, I'm a YouTuber. I'm also a presence on Twitch from time to time. I also do YouTube, as you can say. Hang on one second. Exactly, Final. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I've got my Discord. Let's see here. I've also mentioned my Twitch before. I've mentioned my Twitter. I've got a lot of other stuff, basically. I've got forums that we could use if we wanted to, you know, things like that too. But using Discord is a lot more now. It's a lot more in style, basically, as they say. So, do y'all have anything that needs clarification? Do y'all have any questions about YouTube? Do y'all have any questions about the FTC, the COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rules? Do you have any questions about our future here? This is basically our question and answer session now. So, while y'all are figuring out some questions, if y'all have any, I'm going to put on some commercials now and get me something to drink. Okay, there we go. 4 commercials. Okay, let's see here. I mean, like I said, Final, I'm not going anywhere for a while. I'm also doing the question and answer session, so feel free to ask your questions when you're home. Cause I plan to be here for at least another hour. Because I'm going to, again, I'm going to clear up a few things about the whole, about YouTube, about people claiming YouTube deleting channels and stuff from YouTube. I'm trying to make sure that I haven't already done that, though. I'm again going to mention for those who may have missed it, if I did say it, YouTube and Google are not deleting channels, guys. The only channels they may be deleting are those that violate the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Like, people who are promoting inappropriate content, basically. I'm not gonna mention that content here, but that's what YouTube, that's what the FTC, and that's what the New York General Attorney's Office and stuff like that's going after. They're not going after the normal family-friendly or family-friendly stuff like that per se. They want more of that on YouTube. They're not necessarily going to say that your channel is for kids unless you claim otherwise. So again, those who are wondering and probably stressing out to yourself saying, well, I'm going to go to Twitch because YouTube is being unfair to me, things like that. That's not exactly what they're doing. They're not being unfair to you. And again, I've also linked the original FTC 45-minute video down at the bottom in the description, guys. And again, on your own channels, if you have people who are still confused on your own channels, feel free to share the petition, the Federal Trade Commission's link that I have down at the bottom, to where you can write directly to the FTC themselves until just before December 9th. Then I've also got the talking points for viewers. I've got the talking points for content creators. And also, if you've watched people like Roberto Blake, let's see here, there's Nick Nimmin, there's his brother D Nimmin, there's also video creators, there's video influencers, there is trying to think, there's a lot of others who have also talked about this too, guys. That even Roberto Blake himself has said on his own Instagram and stuff. Feel free, like him, you can DM me on Instagram as well, or you can also talk to me directly in Discord about this stuff too. But again, guys, there is nothing major to worry about. The FTC will not unlawfully go after channels who are following the rules, is basically what I'm saying there. Anyway, there's also things like people wondering about the commercial availability of their own channels. Again, what YouTube was saying there is they're referring to YouTube Studio Classic. They're not talking about the new one here. They're getting ready to remove the old YouTube Classic, where people was using things like I'm trying to think what they're not bringing with them. They're not bringing because they're not bringing certain features from Classic to the new Modern Studio, and others they are. Like for example, the analytics and stuff that you see in the new studio, the Studio Classic doesn't have that. Things like let me think a second. You know, where your video is saying whether it's HD or standard, YouTube Studio Modern, the new YouTube Studio again, Classic has that, but the Modern Studio doesn't have that. Let me think. There's also things like, let's see here. I'll think of something here again in a minute, and if you know something that I'm forgetting to mention, again, feel free to put it in the chat. But also, YouTube is bringing out new features and stuff too that the Classic doesn't have. Well, actually, Final, I'm actually used to seeing the newer studio over the Classic one now. But yeah, exactly. They are bringing a lot of stuff from the Classic to the new studio, but they are updating it. And they have said things that haven't been updated yet, but that will. They are not necessarily removing it per se. They're just removing the access to Classic, but you will still be able to access things like the old editor, for example, if there's things you need to use with it, until they finish updating that, for example. They are updating yeah, exactly, like the analytics. I've already mentioned that. They're also updating things like the live events and live now. And they've pretty much already finished all that, I think. Again, clarify on your own channels for me if you want to, because as you can see here, I'm live and I can't exactly, I could do that, but then there's things that on my own channel that I'm not ready to add it to show off yet. Well, actually, Final, this one's actually easier for me to use now because I can do the preview before I go live, in case there's something that goes wrong with my stream beforehand. Y'all may see a preview, but until I click the live button, it won't go live until I say otherwise. Actually, not true, Final. Just today in the Streamlabs OBS, before I went live, the newest update actually has to where you can use the new, live events and the new YouTube Studio now, the new YouTube Studio Live now, and still see your comments and stuff in the part to the right. I just haven't fixed that yet for the one-on-one talking station, because if I looked at it through the Streamlabs OBS on my PC, it would look something like what you're seeing now, but double that, where you'd see like double it, where you'd see this one here and this one here. And see, for me, the only thing I really want to show off is what you're seeing now. So again, that's to clarify that and clear that up for you. Like for example, let me exit out of this, for example. I won't be able to see your comments for a second, but hang on one second and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, let me go to my tab over here. and go to YouTube Studio, because here's where I need to clear a few things up for you, Final. See right here where it says loading YouTube Studio. It doesn't say YouTube Studio Beta. The beta is all done on that. This is a new studio going forward. Okay, like for example right here, Final. You've got upload video. I mean, sure, it still says beta there, but the beta will be eventually done and it'll just say upload video. You've got go live, which is what I'm doing now. And then of course you know about the create post if you've got your monetization and stuff like I do, where you've got your community tabs, you've got your you've already see like your monetization. I mean, like right here for example, my overview for example here, earn money from your YouTube channel. My memberships, the only memberships I've got right now is Yukiko Loves You. And if you decide to join, if y'all decide to join and be members of my channel too, guys, here is where it would show up for you on my statistics here for that. And then of course for those who don't have it yet, you've got your super chat and your super stickers. And then you got things, then you got where it shows messages and stuff that people sent you when they've sent you donations, like Brayton for example. He says, not gonna lie, you kinda looking like LeBron James. Again, I know he was joking. And then Fernando 2 said, free super chat from YouTube. Yeah, again, that's just to clear all that up. Okay, now as you can see here, as you can see here, like playlists for example, they haven't added the new versions of that for the whole updated YouTube Studio just yet. They've got your audio library, again, haven't updated that yet. They've got VR heat maps or whatever that is. Then you've got your translation and transcripts and stuff. A lot of that stuff hasn't been updated yet. But again, that's just to clear that up. Oh, and also, Final, let me clear something else up for you on that too. If you click on, for me, I won't have that anymore because as you can see here, I've got memberships and stuff. But if you look under in your overview, yeah, where it says how to get your AdSense and stuff, that'll be right in through here. And then you'll have your things like how much more you need to go for like your viewership, which would be over here to my left, and then over here would be your sub count. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen this in your own monetization stuff, but you get what I mean. But yeah, exactly, Final. I mean, I'm pretty sure that OBS will do that too, but you would have to update your OBS to do that. But again, that's just to clear up a few other things for you. If there's any other clarifications you need to know, since I'm talking about YouTube stuff as well, feel free to let me know. While I get me a drink of water, I'm going to give y'all time to ask more questions and stuff too. And while I'm getting me a drink of water, I'm going to put on some more ads. There we go. And again, I'm taking today, guys, from my regular streaming schedule of games to talk about all this with you. And again, like I told Final yesterday, if he wants to get in on this with me and make this a multi-person stream, to talk with y'all about any of this, that he can feel free to, because I'm going to be here till let's see here, it is 7:20 my time, and I've been live for 1 hour and 16 minutes. So I will be live until at least 8, maybe 8:30, just to give y'all plenty of chances to ask questions, so we can clear up a lot of stuff, so that you guys don't have to stress, you can get your sleep better and stuff, things like that. There was also people worrying about wondering if they're going to have to curse in their streams just to keep it going and stuff. I'm here again to tell you, you can be your family-friendly self, and you do not have to worry about changing your language or anything like that. The FTC and YouTube will not go after anybody who is basically trying to be family-friendly, whether they are 13 and up. So again, you do not have to worry about that. Well, I understand, Final. That's cool. But anyway, like I was saying, you do not have to change your language just to appease YouTube. What they're basically saying about language and stuff is language that targets younger kids. Movies that target younger kids that an adult and a 13-year-old basically would not want to watch. Then they're also talking about things like taking off the anything that's related to like the Elsa Gate videos or similar. YouTube will be removing that stuff. They won't be letting that stay up. They're also talking about axing things in general that are toxic to families and family-friendly content and things that are not good in general. Basically, is all I'm saying there. And they are not going after gamers in general. Now, people like Arlo would have to worry because he uses a Sesame Street-like character in all of his videos. That's basically one of the people who has to worry right now because of his Elmo-like character. Or like basically not necessarily Elmo, but whatever they blue but whatever the blue character looks like, his name is. I mean, like I said, I don't pay attention to Sesame Street, things like that anymore, because there are certain things as you get older you grow out of. Whether you wanted to or not, basically. But again, for me, I don't have to worry about that. So again, we'll be yeah, basically. So again, I don't have to worry about stuff like that. But again, people like Arlo's, people like your Arlos are the ones that have to worry, is what I'm saying. Let me think. There's also again, there's petitions to sign if you want to, down in the description below. I've also got the video. I've also got the link to the FTC page where you can write your comments if you need to the FTC. But again, that's if you're worried. Feel free to do all that, but be civil in your comments on the petition page, and be civil when you write your comments to the FTC. Don't go trolling them or anything. Exactly, Final. I mean, there are certain things that I remember too. I've already mentioned things like kids enjoying Arthur the book, the cartoon book. You know, it's turned into a TV show. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm mentioning because well, that's fine, but what I'm talking about is like for people who kids who watch Arthur, you know, like with DW and things like that, you know, his sister, you know, basically Dora Winifred, you know, stuff like that. That's basically stuff that people have to worry about. If you're a channel dedicated to kids cartoon programming like Arthur, you will be going into a kids friendly only column, and you won't have comments, you won't have end screens, you won't have a community tab, you won't have trying to think. So I've said end screens, I've said chat, I've said community tab. You won't have super stickers. You won't have let me go into my oh yeah, you won't have comments on live chat or videos if I haven't said that already. And also, in the settings here, I'm going to show, you would have to click on channel. You would have to go to advanced settings, and then under where it says audience, simplify your workflow by selecting a channel setting. If you skip this question, you will be required to identify each video on your channel that's made for kids. This setting will affect existing and future videos. Settings for individual videos will override the channel setting. So, for me, of course, I got set as no. Set this channel as not made for kids. I never upload content that's made for kids, which I don't. But if you clicked on yes, you would have to click on the yes. I wouldn't trust doing the I want to review this review this setting for every video. That would get tiresome and not only annoying, very, very fast. Oh, also, I also forgot to mention something else since I'm here too. Under the advertisements, for example, if you are a kids-friendly channel that is dedicated basically to kids content only, you will lose access to interest-based ads, which is basically another word for personalized ads, but you'd still get contextual ads. And basically, if you click the check mark here, if you select this option, personalized ads will not be shown on videos on your channel, such as ads based on a viewer's interests or remarketing ads. This may significantly reduce your channel's revenue. In addition, earned action reports. Again, what action reports is basically talking about there is your, I think it's talking about your analytics, so I'm not sure there. I'd have to clarify that. And then they're also talking about remarketing lists will stop working for your channel as well. And again, that is also if you become a kids only content creator. Oh, that's cool, Final. Just let me know if you are, just let me know when you're home, and I will, then I will add you in under, then I'll add you into the, chat on the one-on-one talking station podcast part, to where you can join in with me if you want to. Just send me a DM or go into my Discord under the one-on-one talking station and let me know, or tell me in the chat. Just let me know when you're home, basically. Cause right now it's 1:27. And again, guys, so you know, I plan to make sure that we clear everything up here by at least 8:30, so that I can get some rest and continue on my merry way tomorrow with our regularly scheduled programming. And yes, guys, we will go on a raid with this too, but instead of the normal EZLO raid, we will be doing hashtag one-on-one talking station raid. So for the hashtag for that, instead of typing out the whole thing, we will put hashtag, we'll put 101 TS, we'll put hashtag 101 TS raid. Just like what I put in the chat below, but again, not yet. So again, we are not raiding yet. I'm just giving an example for when we do go on a raid. Because we do have a few more other little things that I want to clear up too. Okay, like for example, let me go into my channel, for example. For those who, so they won't be confused. And this will also be for Final's clarification too when he starts getting higher up on his community. Let me get it to load first, and then we will go from there. Okay, like for example here, for me, where it says, I've already mentioned this for the community tab, but I will mention it again here. If you consider yourself for kids and stuff like that, you will not have the community tab. You will not have playlists. You will not be able to save to a watch later list. You will not have memberships. Let's see here. You will not have the I don't know for sure if you'll have the channels tab or not. Let's see here. I'm not sure about the videos tab. I'm pretty sure about the about page that you're about to see here for us. That you will still have your about page. You will not have the I think there's think they said something about not having a search feature with something. Again, I'd have to be able to know when YouTube will clear that up. But hang on one second. Okay, here we go. Things like I'm pretty sure you'll have things like your About page. And again, also guys, here is our Twitter, or my Twitter I should say, for this. Now I'm going to check my Twitter again for a second. Hey, yes, guys. Also, we may, if he's streaming tonight, guys, we may raid Chadley. That's just an example of who we may raid. And again, I'm checking my Twitter while I'm at it. So let's see here. Oh, I know, Final. That's why I'm saying when you're actually in the door, or when you're ready to get on and stuff, let me know. But hi there again, Dylan. Make sure, again, like I said before, Dylan, make sure you behave. Because even though I don't have my disclaimer up right now, you saw my disclaimer in my recent videos, where it's saying, disclaimer here, this channel is not for yada yada age. It is for 13 plus and 16 plus and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you saw that. But anyway, moving on. The next thing, let me think. If there's anything else as far as our future, as far as the future of the EZLO21 YouTube network that I want to talk about. Let me think. So here, I've talked about our Patreon. I've talked about our PayPal. I've talked about Streamlabs. I've talked about the Teespring and the Amazon stores. Let me see. Hang on one second. I'm gonna let the YouTube page load for a second. Okay. I've also got this in my descriptions, or in my description, where it says my channel is for a 13 plus audience in the USA and Canada. We are for a 16 plus audience outside of USA, just to make it safe. Just to clarify that again. So, if you are a user under the age of 13 plus or 16 plus of age, come back on your 13th birthday, or watch with your adult parent or teen sibling. So with that, please feel free to enjoy yourself on my channel, and please feel free to support our community here with stuff in our links. And then now for the links. I've got where I've talked about the PayPal, I've got the Patreon up, I've got the Streamlabs for tips and donations. As you can see here, I've got the EZLO21 Amazon storefront and the Teespring. Let's see here, then I've got like my Twitch channel up. I've got my Instagram, the forums, the actual website, the Facebook, the Pinterest. I've got basically all the links that I've used on here for y'all. Hey, again, that's just to clarify all that stuff for you too. So, once final is ready, we'll let you ask him some questions. Oh, and also I'm going to show y'all a little bit here in my videos part that, as you can see, I'm going to go with my live first. That with my Majora's Mask stream that I did yesterday, everything is good there. And where it says limited under monetization, that'll be fixed once the stream is done. But again, I'm not worried about the limited monetization there, because again, that'll eventually change like it has before. Like in one of my streams, for example, let me go to... Well, I can actually... Okay, like for example, the Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 streams, for example. There was a time where they showed limited monetization, but that eventually got reversed out of my own doing. I didn't do it myself. Which means, what I mean with out of my own doing is something that I didn't do. YouTube went back and reviewed that themselves. Now, if you're a channel meant for kids, right here below the public, where I have nothing shown here, what they basically do there is say and show something to the effect of, this video or channel is kid friendly, or something like that. It's kind of hard to show because I don't have that on here, which I'm glad I don't, because my channel is for mature audiences and stuff. Oh, that's fine. That's cool, Final. Oh, and hi there, Laura. Do you have any questions? Because again, like I was, because I know you weren't here earlier. We were talking about the stuff with YouTube. We were talking about the stuff with the FTC. We were talking about the stuff with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, or COPPA, whichever one you want to call it for short. And I've also talked about our future on here. And while you're thinking of some questions, Laura, I am going to get me a drink of water and put on 2 ads. Okay, here we go. And also, guys, if you have any other questions that I haven't answered yet, feel free to put those in the live chat. And also, I will be making sure that I clear up everything in this particular live stream, because I've set aside today's live stream here for the one-on-one talking station to talk about everything as far as we know, considering the YouTube, the FTC, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, and our future all in one stream, so that I won't have to do it over multiple streams. So again, guys, your favorite EZLO, I'm probably the only one y'all know of, but if I'm your favorite EZLO, I am not going anywhere. I'm still going to keep my same schedule and everything. So, like if I feel like streaming, we'll say at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, for example, you'll see me at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If I decide to stream at 4 p.m., you'll see me at 4. Sometimes you'll see me at 3. Sometimes you'll see me like you did at 6 p.m. Sometimes it may be 5. Depends upon if I'm feeling like I need to take a long rest or whatever, or if I need a break for a while. I won't leave y'all hanging. I will let you know. See here, in two ways. I will let you know in my community tab, and I will let you know from my previous streams if I decide to take a break or not. If I say in the previous stream that I'm going to stream, and then I wake up feeling tired still or whatever, I will let you know in the community tab, again like I mentioned, that I have decided to take a break like I did on the 20th. Because I was helping, y'all may know Kink, but I was helping him clear up a few things about the FTC as well with his audience, you know. I mean, there was people in his audience wondering if Twitch would be next on the chopping block, and I'm again here to say about that. Twitch is in no more danger than YouTube is. Mixer, DLive, Periscope, the near YouTube alternatives, I can't think of the names of any right now. The older ones that try to compete with YouTube, like Daily Motion, video places like that, streaming places like those, they are not in any more trouble than YouTube are. YouTube was the one that went in. Okay, fine, give me 1 second. Well, I'm going to add you to the one-on-one talking station podcast file. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me go to how I would. Let's see here. Add friends to DM. Okay, here we go. Final. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get Final in here. And again, for those who are in my one-on-one talking station, if you don't feel like being in it today, which I'm sure some of y'all are probably busy, do you want it in night mode on YouTube? Lar, I'll get to that in a second. I'm trying to get it popped up to where final can pop in here. So give me 1 second for that, everybody. Well, hi there, Duck. How you doing? Hang on 1 second, final. Okay, final. Give me 1 second to fix this because I'm gonna have to exit out my my Discord for just a second. Let's see here. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second to fix this. Oh, and I know, final. I'm trying to fix that. Give me 1 second. Hang on 1 second, everybody. Let me check something. And so you know, guys, I'm testing my my settings for the Discord for a second. Cause I had this working earlier. Oh, I see you now. Sounds like you're muted, final. Let me check. I'm seeing you, final, but I'm not hearing anything. I may have to log out of my Discord for a second, guys. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. And so you know, guys, I'm still here. Just give me 1 second to log out of and let me relog back into my Discord instead of just necessarily exiting out of it like I was going to with logging out of it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off the Discord on my apps for just a second, and I'm going to log back in. And then we will go from there. Oh, I'm going to check final. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. My my Discord is reloading, so give it 1 second. And also, final, I will put your link in the description after the stream, because I do plan to go for a little bit, for maybe a little bit longer.
Yo.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, my input volume somehow managed to find its way down to 0.
Oh, that is kind of odd.
All time.
Okay, now I see. The reason you're not going to be able to see me through this is because you're seeing me on the live stream itself, you know. So.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everybody. So I want to see if it'll pop you up on there too. So let's resize it here. Okay, here we go. So, what's your takes on all this? Because I've already gave you mine when you were watching earlier.
Honestly,
from your perspective and everything that I've mentioned. Just to clarify that, so go ahead.
Those who honestly have... The FTC is definitely going to have to clarify on a lot of things. They really can't do nothing but clarify right now.
Exactly. So go ahead. I'm going to let you continue.
It's... As... Basically, at the start of the stream, you had someone mention the First and Eighth Amendment. They also cannot discriminate versus a person's age.
Exactly.
If their law does this, it will not hold up in a court of law, which is going to be an issue. They're going to have to clarify it so that it will not do this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why they're taking their time on it. So they have time to clarify and to make sure that they can get the wording right where it's not vague.
Exactly. I mean, like if you look on your own end on the live stream, you can see me and I can see you. So.
Sorry, I'm moving a little bit fast. I'm a little bit hyperactive.
Oh no! You're good. You're good. Go ahead. You're good. No, you're good. Final. Go ahead.
I think I've said my point on it, really. I normally keep family friendly.
Yeah, same here.
I can't really control what my brother does.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the only thing you can really do with your own brother, like I said with my disclaimer for a second. Hang on, then I'll let you continue. Like with my disclaimer,
like
I've got it to where it says 13 plus, which you are obviously 13 plus. That's where you would come in. Let me finish for just a second. Then you can continue.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, say your brother wanted to watch my channel, right? That is where the FTC would come in and say, nope, not unless you have parental consent.
Actually, he could.
I know, but what I'm saying is, that is where I would have to come in and say, not without your brother final. And then that's where you'd come in, and I'm going to let you go ahead and say, that's where you'd say your point here. So go ahead.
I forgot where we were at.
Like, what I'm saying is, say your brother wanted to watch my channel, right? That's where you would come. That's where you would come in and say, well, he has a disclaimer up saying that you can't watch him without parental consent or sibling, or older sibling consent. Because you're older than 13. Is what I'm saying. So unless your brother's parent was with them and stuff like that.
You have to have parental consent. Older sibling does not matter though.
Well, technically it does because you're older than 13. Because what the FTC is saying, basically, is you have to be 13 years or older.
Is one thing.
Exactly.
To view is different.
Yeah.
To view off of, say, little brother is watching over.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to matter in that case. But if little brother is the one participating in chat, that's where the issue lies.
That's why I'm saying he would have to. That's what I'm saying. He would have to let you talk on his behalf. Is what I'm saying there. He wouldn't be able to actually interact. He would have to watch with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's where in my disclaimer I say 13 plus or 16 plus in other countries.
And the reason I'm saying about the First Amendment is my brother happens. If anyone has ever heard of the term,
I don't know your brother's age, and don't say it on here because I don't want to get in trouble with the FTC. But what I'm saying is,
I'm 30 myself.
Go ahead.
And my brothers are at max 9 years younger than me. So my brothers are old enough to drink alcohol. So.
Well, that's understandable. But what I'm saying is, say somebody, I'm not going to mention any names here, but say somebody 12 years old or under came into my stream, I would have to say, come back when you're 13. Because I don't want to be labeled as kid-friendly. Or, kid-friendly. I want to be labeled as family-friendly. If they're going to do that distinction. Just kind of say, like, 13 years and up, you're fine. But like I'm saying is, I see where the gray areas are at, is what I'm saying. And that's what the FTC needs to do, too. And that's why people in, like I don't know if you're here for this, but I was talking about, like, that's where, people from video creators, then you got your, Roberto Blakes, people like that who are going to the FTC headquarters and stuff and saying and working on our behalf for us because we can't exactly go there ourselves, and say, this is what needs to be fixed. This can stay. This also right here needs to be worked on, and, so on and so forth. Is what I'm saying.
On this, you mentioned already that they're taking away certain types of ads. The other one
they're taking away personal ads for kids channels is what I'm saying there. But for somebody like you or me who are gaming channels and stuff like that, that won't necessarily affect us in certain ways. Because if you label yourself as, like, if you label yourself as for mature audiences and stuff, the FTC will eventually notice that, because that's what everybody's working towards right now. That's what I'm saying, but go ahead.
Basically, what they're not wanting is kids to be targeted by ads. Contextual ads is something YouTube should have been doing the whole time, really.
Exactly.
Contextual ads are basically like, if you've ever watched Nickelodeon, you're going to have kids ads on Nickelodeon. You're not going
Yeah.
to see a man
Well,
coming up holding a beer on Nickelodeon
exactly.
for the daytime. You're not
Exactly.
going to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what a contextual ad is.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of agree with the contextual ad kind of scenario.
I mean, I do too, but what I'm saying is, for
If
older,
you're
mature audiences that want to do like that kind of stuff, still have their personal ads and stuff, should still be able to have their personal ads. But what the FTC shouldn't be doing is, they shouldn't be taking away comments. But before you say yes, they should, I'm going to clarify here where they shouldn't. No, let me finish. They should instead clarify where they say, instead of taking away the comments, they should put in like a age gate or whatever, saying you have to actually be 13 years old. Like with Twitch, for example, if I were to go and show you my Twitch channel, there's a setting on there where you have to verify your email. If YouTube would do something like that, sort of like an age gate, the comments section would be fine. What they shouldn't do is take away the community tab, because they could do the same thing with that.
I think what YouTube's more worried about is that kids could actually decide to go troll mode, considering kids are very good about making up new memes, new trolls.
Yeah.
I keep getting hit by an occasional one that keeps going, "Okay, boomer." I keep telling the kid to stop, seriously.
Well,
But
yeah,
kids
I understand that, but go ahead.
about knowing how to troll. And now that they know that this can get people in trouble, the first thing they're going to do is, okay, I live here.
Exactly, and they shouldn't do that.
And this is why YouTube's removing it. YouTube does have somewhat of the knowledge that kids are going to wind up doing this kind of crap.
Exactly, and that's why they need an age gate. That's why I'm saying that's where the age gate can come in. But they have to figure out how to set it.
Only problem is, and I came across this one about 10 years ago when I was still in high school. Well, it was about 12 years ago.
I mean, yeah, for me, I didn't necessarily start YouTube until about 2011. So, yeah, I've been here for a while, too.
My brothers were finding a way around age gates for sites they shouldn't have been on. They've got to figure out a way to do it that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They got to figure out a way to do the age gate without people getting around it. It's the problem. But, like, for example, just kind of, you know how they make you verify like emails and stuff, like on Twitch and stuff. There's a setting on there where you have to verify your email. I mean, I don't know how YouTube would do that, because I don't code their website. And that's another thing, too. The FTC is sort of thinking of YouTube content creators like us as YouTube operators, where we don't have the HTML coding of their website to go in and add certain things. We can't exactly do that. That's where YouTube has to come in and do all the changes and stuff that they're doing, is what I'm saying there. Then there's also things like we'd have to make sure to kind of, if we catch somebody in the act, if they say they're like, underage, kind of ban them or whatever. Just say, I'm going to have to ban you until, said birthday or whatever. Because there are ways to do that. Forums do.
Unfortunately, a kid is most likely going to wind up taking it as, okay, time to troll it.
Well,
And that's going to be
not
an issue
necessarily
right there.
if they do it by IP address. But then again, there's also sort of a problem with the IP address idea too, though. But if there's a way to
Because the
fix that,
IP address is technically a physical location.
I know. And that's what I'm saying is,
And
if there
that's
was a
something
way
I
to fix
can't.
that, if there was a way to sort of, ban the IP address by a kid's age or whatever, without actually banning the older person who is also going into their channel under that same IP address, we wouldn't have any problems. If you get what I mean there. I'd see where you're coming from there, where that would be kind of hard to do. But some of these things are possible. It's just how you'd have to be able to implement them. Hey, while you're thinking of that, I'm making sure there's no other comments and stuff that we're missing. And so far, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, now, let's see here for... see here for me, I was also talking about, things that the FTC could do, too. The FTC could kind of go in and, look at certain channels, like they're doing right now, because whether they're saying they're doing this or not, they're doing it. They're going into people's channels and stuff and actually looking at their videos and stuff right now as we speak. Whether they say they're doing it right now or not, they're doing it.
Honestly, this is a waste of taxpayer money, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is, but they're doing it anyway.
You've got millions upon millions upon millions, if not upon billions, of videos out there now.
Yeah, they're not just on YouTube. You've got your Twitches, you've got your Mixers, you've got your D-Libs.
I mean, what are they going to seriously do? Search up kid content one by one? There's hundreds upon hundreds of kid content.
And also other people have mentioned this too. Kids are not just interested in video games too. They're interested in movies, for example. They're interested in, some of them nowadays, even if they're, say, 10 or 11, are interested in cars. There's people interested in dance. There's people interested in cooking.
There's kids
are going to be interested in anything.
Let me put it this way. My brother, like I said, my brothers were 12 when they were playing Black Ops.
Exactly. Exactly.
No. I did say my brothers are over 21 now.
Yeah. But you get what I mean too, though.
There was a bad case about people having kids having psychological trauma after playing a game like Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah.
And that game is while not rated, has a disclaimer saying psychological trauma.
Exactly.
I've even played Doki Doki Literature Club, but
well, yeah.
But I can understand.
Yeah, well, for somebody like you who's kind of, old enough to understand and not have to worry about, what's going on with that particular type of a game, whereas, say, a 12-year-old, like you said, where you mentioned with the whole, with those issues and stuff, you wouldn't have that because you're kind of used to that game and stuff, It didn't do anything to you, but now for others, on the other hand, it might, but they have that disclaimer in where they're saying, this game might hurt, give you certain illnesses or whatever. Like even if you look at an original Nintendo booklet or whatever, setting up say like a Super Nintendo to play it, certain colors and stuff. If you have seizures, those colors can give you seizures.
Hello, Undertale.
Exactly. Like for me, I don't care about saying this right now, but when I was 4.5, I had to go in brain surgery to get my brain fixed because I had cyst on my brain. I don't have to worry about seizures and everything like that now because I got that fixed when I was almost 5. So I'm pretty much good there, but like with my eyes, I can't necessarily, you know how you use both eyes to look at people, I have to use one or the other. Like right now, I'm actually looking at you through my webcam right now with one eye.
I didn't even notice it.
Because it'll take a second, but see, I'm looking like right at the lens right here, as you can see, and I'm actually pointing at it to show you right now, as you can see, and it'll pop up here any second for you. But as you'll see, when I'm looking directly at you, I'm not looking with my right eye. Yeah, and then there's other people with those types of conditions too, or even worse than my own right now. But I've come back from a lot of that stuff.
Hey, personally, I'm autistic, so everybody's got their own demons, but everybody's got their own blessings.
Exactly. But like I'm saying, you get what I mean though with all that too. Let's see here is, and I told everybody here even before you jumped in the chat that I was going to go till at least 8 or 8:30. So, do you have any other comments or questions, or do you feel like we covered everything?
I think I've covered all I can think of right now.
Because I think I have too. I've already covered the whole commercially viable stuff, you know, and I've already mentioned to everybody that just because it says commercially viable, YouTube is not getting rid of you or your channel just because of this certain clause that they have in their terms of service. Oh yeah, that's another thing about the terms of service. That YouTube has had things in there where they've said they could delete your channels since the beginning of YouTube, and they haven't done it for most everybody because they only get rid of the most offensive channels per se. You know, like for example, commercially viable, what they're talking about in that sense is, you know, the YouTube Classic that everybody was using before the new one now, it's going to be gone in 2 weeks' time.
Still using.
The what?
The one that I'm still using.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The one that most people are still using pretty much. That one's going to be gone within 1-2 weeks' time is what they're saying.
From what I read on it, it's going to a somewhat of a more, how do you say, a trial mode?
No, it's not necessarily going to be a trial mode. They're like,
but for the ones,
like for example, the ones that are using the newer studio like me right now, that button will eventually be gone for us because I'm using the newer one now. But eventually they're going to phase it out to where nobody's using the classics, what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
We're in the trial process right now is what I'm saying. Which is why I'm saying you might want to start getting used to using the newer YouTube studio, and if you need help with it, let me know, because I know a few things about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely needing help, because unfortunately the last time I tried to stream was when I was starting up the Nuzlocke in Shield.
Yeah.
And, well, needless to say, the game didn't go through.
Yeah, well, that's not the fault of the studio itself. The thing is there.
I think it might have been used. I think it might have been a user-operated error.
Yeah.
It's probably on me somewhere.
For me, for example, the good thing about the newer studio is when you click on live on your OBS, for example, even though I'm using OBS Studio,
I'm
or not
using
Studio,
OBS
but
Studio as well.
Streamlabs OBS, you know, the thing is, if you click on that and you're using the new YouTube like I am, it'll bring up a preview for you to show you anything that might be happening in the background that you need to fix before you go live. I love that. With the older classic, you would just be going live automatically without being able to check for any errors. That's what I'm saying there.
All right. I'm having to turn off my camera.
Oh, you're fine. I mean, like, for example, like, I mean, if I have to before I get off, I can show you what I'm talking about with the new YouTube Studio. But for me to do that, I'd have to screen share with you.
Wait, how did my camera turn back on?
I don't know, because
I thought I turned it off.
you did.
I guess it didn't update.
Okay, now, like for example, since you're doing that for me, give me 1 second, because I'm going to make the screen bigger. I'm going to make our screen shorter for a second so I can do screen share. And let me go to the YouTube for a second on my end, so I can show you what I'm talking about. Since you're doing that for me, give me 1 second. I'm going to click on screen share for a second if it'll let me do it. Okay, here we go. Do you see my screen right now?
Yes, I see the infinity.
Okay, now let me fix the infinity for a second. Okay, now see right here where you've got your upload, upload video in beta, right? You would click right here where it says go live, for example. I mean, I'm already live,
Yep.
but you would click on that. Now give me a second. Okay, now right now, even though I'm already live, it should bring up an option for me to schedule another stream, which I'm going to show you how this works, by the way. If it'll let me, give me 1 second. Okay, right here, I've got manage my stream right now, and as you can see here, limited, not suitable for most advertisers. That'll eventually be reviewed by YouTube on its own, probably, because the music in the background that I was using when I started out, that music is called Prime, and it's actually from YouTube's own library of music, which is free. So when I click
usually don't use music.
I'm not saying you have to, but okay, like right now, see right here where it says stream, where it says new stream from previous. Right here, if I wanted to, I could click on I could click copy and create. The best thing about that for me is I don't have to go into the old live now like you're doing right now and change everything as far as the title, the description, the thumbnail, the hashtags, things like that. If I was doing like example tomorrow, I'm planning on maybe doing more of Minish Cap. I'm going to show you this right here. I would click on Minish Cap, and now click on copy and create. And so far, you're still seeing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, give it 1 second to copy everything, because that's what the red line's showing me.
I can't even get it to work on my computer right like that.
Just give it a second. It's going to take a second. It's about done though. Okay, here we go. See right here where it's showing, where it's got my title right here now. It should pop up any second. And then right here under the description, I've got Legend of Zelda Minish Cap like I had before. And then
Hopefully that'll work.
And then of course you've got your you got your game title under gaming right here. And then you've got your date of when you're going to do it. For me, since I'm showing you how to do it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it to get it out of the way. I'll say the 23rd because I may do that game tomorrow. And then I can change my time. It's not going to be 9 p.m. Now, for example, you may be at work when I'm doing it tomorrow, but I'll still be live for an hour or for more than an hour or so doing Minish Cap. So I'd click on 4 p.m. and I'd be going till probably about 8 p.m. or so, like I am right now.
Eastern time, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'll definitely be at work. That'll be about 3 o'clock my time. So,
I mean, what I'm saying is here, if you wanted to pop in after you got off work, you'd be able to pop in at, say...
Technically, I'd be able to pop in right at the start, considering that's about when I take my break.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. You'd probably be able to pop in at, say, probably 4 or 4:30, or whenever you take your break.
Whoa.
What?
Hey, you actually hit it. I was just looking at a fellow streamer of mine. He actually hit 1K today.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, if they're live right now, we could get ready to rate them here soon.
He isn't going live anytime soon. He normally, Kent.
Oh, Ken Sabu, yeah. Oh, I know. I'm subscribed to him already.
He hit 1K today.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Grat. He definitely deserved it.
Exactly. Okay, now, see right here, since I clicked on everything that I was doing with that. Now, see right here where it says live in 19 hours. It says November 23rd at 4 p.m. As you can see right there. If you see what I mean. And now that I'm done with that, here is another thing that I'm going to show you. When I'm done doing editing, I can click on the back arrow. And then as you can see here in just a second, it says live right now, which is what I'm doing right here. And it shows the live.
Yeah, that's something new that actually is something new that I do like about it, is you can actually schedule multiple streams at once.
Exactly. I mean, I had this stream scheduled that I'm doing right now for a while now, and I'm just decided to do it today because I want to get all the COPPA stuff and everything, out of the way on my end, so people won't be saying, "Well, when are you going to talk about this? When are you going to talk about that? People have talked about this, yada 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 yada." If you know what I mean. I could just say, if somebody came into my Minish Cap stream tomorrow and said, have you talked about what YouTube and YouTube and the FTC is doing, I could refer back to this video and say, watch this stream from last night of the 101 Talking Station where I cover everything in the title from where it says YouTube to the FTC to the Child's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA for short, and then our future on YouTube. I could tell them to go back and watch that instead of mentioning everything over and over and over and over and over again,
Honestly, if you've got fears of your favorite content creator possibly losing out on everything, it'd be the best time right now to actually go into their stream, find their Patreon.
But there we go. I'm gonna turn off the screen sharing and bring you back and bring you my camera and stuff back up now. So here we go.
Yeah, it would be the perfect time to actually.
Hang on, let's let you pop up before you before you bring it up too.
I'm not gonna pop up because I'm about to have to go for my own.
What? Are you getting ready to go live too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So let's go ahead and finish this up then, because I'm going to leave here at 8:30. So, do you have any other questions, comments, anything you want to say. Do you want to
But
promote your
yeah,
channel,
y'all are
things like
nervous
that?
about the channel disappearing. It's the perfect time to help them out. If you've got the means to, pop into their Patreon. It's easy as $1, a low price of $1 a month. Most keep it at the low $1 a month.
And see, that's another thing too. That's a good thing about the new YouTube studio as well. If you're OBS or your
Whoa, is James
that
trying to get in?
huh?
Is someone actually trying to join in?
Let me look.
Says James is. Looks like James is trying to join in. Voice chat, sorry. Oops.
I'll fix it in a few minutes, Brayton.
Oh, I've actually got to go right now.
Oh, do you want to promote your channel or anything before we go?
All right. I'm Final Plays. It's better I do this on camera.
I'll go ahead.
I'm Final Plays, guys. I mostly stream Minecraft, Splatoon 2. Speaking of which, Splatfest this weekend on Sunday, early morning. Turkey versus ham.
Okay, is there anything else you want to mention?
I also do a lot of Mario content. I'm planning on picking up Animal Crossing, provided the FTC doesn't decide to ruin that.
Oh, they won't.
Hopefully they won't.
No, I know they won't.
I also am wanting to get back into Skyrim as of next month. But other than that, I'm a, I'm somewhat of a small streamer. I have heard a lot of people talking about how they're going to Twitch. Trust me, Twitch is not the answer. I've tried it. It is harder to set up a stream over there than most people actually think.
Exactly, but there we go. And I'm also going to say that before we get ready to head out of here, I'm going to say that I will be putting your link and everything in the description below since you're on here with me. Because I told everybody before that everybody who pops into the podcast, which is what this basically is, that if y'all join in with me, your link to your channels will be in the description below after the podcast, because I don't want to have to go through and edit the actual channel while I'm live, if you know what I mean.
All right.
So, once I'm done here, let's go ahead and say our goodbyes. I will see you. I mean, I may raid you. We'll see. So I will talk.
I'll get a start up.
So I will see you soon. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and let final plays go, and then we will go from there.
Oh, great! Someone is photobombing us.
Oh, that's Brayton.
Man.
But either way, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for joining me, Final. I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I will see you soon. Okay, guys, I'm getting ready to head out here for this episode of the 101 Talking Station podcast. I am going to we're going to get ready to raid, so do hashtag Instead of doing a hashtag EZLO raid, this is the 101 Talking Station podcast. Do hashtag 101 TS raid, and I will put that in the chat again for those who are wondering. So here we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and look for a raid target live. But let me exit out of my studio here. Let me go back to the regular YouTube. And let's look for a raid target live. Let's see who's streaming right now on YouTube. See if Final's getting ready to go live or not. Let's see here. We've got Cool Story Bro live with Breath of the Wild. First time playthrough, part 11. Let's see here. We've got, as you can see here, it says watch Nintagious live in 30 minutes. We may consider him. He's doing Dragon Hunter 11S, or Dragon Quest 11S. Let's see here. We've got COPPA who's doing Pokemon. We've got Tonica Bang Bang Petition, who is doing Dark Souls 3. And I'm going to look and see if y'all have any suggestions. Or if y'all want to see any of those that I'm mentioning. And I also want to thank y'all for popping into this, I'll call this basically the clarification stream of everything going on with YouTube, the FTC, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act stuff, and our future on YouTube. And now that I've done all this, I don't have to worry about it in the future. I could put it off my mind, and then when everybody else has questions, I could just refer to this stream. And if they need any more clarification that wasn't on the stream, you can ask me personally through a DM on Twitch or Discord. So now let's see here. See if there's anybody else going. Okay, here we go. I said we may raid Final Plays. Let's see what he's doing. Down with the bosses. Take down the. Let's see. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and raid Final Plays, guys. So, let me go ahead and get his link. I'm going to mute his stream so I don't get it in here. Okay, I'm copying his link right now, so here we go. Okay, here we go, everybody. We are going to raid Final Plays. And I will see you over there here in just a few minutes. I'm going to put our ending music on here in just a minute with our ending scene. And then I will see you all over there in, give me 3 minutes at the most. And I will see you over there, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to start the music back as we get ready to head out of here. Here we go. There's our ending scene, and I'm going to end with the rest of the music. Thank y'all for tuning in again, and I will see y'all over at finals.